Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Nicole and I sell vintage decor on Etsy. My shop is called Ivy Dog Vintage. I started my shop in June and things have been going swimmingly. It's been so much fun and I've been getting a lot more sales than I anticipated. In today's video, I am going to be showing you everything that I sold in the month of August and how much money I made from the items that sold. I did this for the month of July and I just think doing this every month is a really fun way to keep track of my profits and to see how my shop is growing. So the first item that I sold for this month, I actually sold it on July 31st, but it sold a few hours before midnight and obviously I didn't get the chance to put it into my July video, so I'm just going to be counting it as part of my August sales. The first thing that I sold was this vintage wooden wall organizer. I purchased this item for $6.99, listed the item for $28 and made a total profit of $18.99. The next item that I sold was a pair of vintage silver candle holders that were made in India. I purchased these candle holders for $5. I listed them for $34 and made a total profit of $26.59. On the same day that I sold those candle holders, on August 1st, I also sold this vintage 1960s alarm clock made in Germany. This is an item that I actually thrifted for myself about a year or so before I ever started my shop. I just didn't really have any interest in it anymore, so I thought I would go ahead and list it. So I have it here as being purchased for $0 because it's just something that I already owned and I honestly don't remember how much I paid for it, but I listed the clock for $34 and made a total profit of $31.59. The next item that I sold is also something that I previously owned, just like with the alarm clock, and it was this vintage bronze monkey figurine. Again, I put $0 for the amount that I purchased this for because I really don't remember how much I got this for, but I listed the monkey for $38 and made a total profit of $35.33. Next, I sold this vintage vase that was made in Mexico. I loved this piece. It was so beautiful. And I listed it for $38. I purchased the item for $2.98 and I made a total profit of $32.35. Next up, I sold this vintage brass armadillo. This is one of my favorite things that I ever listed in my shop. I was obsessed with this little guy. I paid up for him. I paid $12.99. I listed the armadillo for $74 and made a total profit of $56. This order was also my first international order. It went to Canada, so that was exciting. About a week after selling that armadillo, I sold my most profitable item yet, which was this vintage 1970s bamboo corner shelf. I purchased this stand for $5. I listed it for $84 and made a total profit of $73.34. Next, I sold a vintage Saudi Arabian prayer rug. This rug was beautiful. It also had a tag on it with Arabic, which I thought was super cool. I purchased that rug for $2.99, listed it for $58, and made a total profit of $51.04. My next order I got on August 19th, and this was the first time that someone had ever purchased multiple items from my shop at once. So all of my orders up until this point had only been one item at a time, but I had a girl purchase 3 items at once, which is great for her and me. Great for me because I get to sell more items, but also she was able to get a reduced shipping cost and she bought all of the stuff at once. So I'll go ahead and do one thing at a time. The first thing that she purchased was this vintage silver-plated swan napkin holder or letter holder, and it was actually made in Italy. I purchased it for $3, listed it for $28, and made a total profit of $22.98. The next thing she picked out were these vintage polka dot bow espresso cups. These were so cute. I really loved these cups. They came in a set of 5 and I purchased the entire set for only $1.98. I listed them for $34 and made a total profit of $29.61. And then the last thing that she picked out was this mid-century, it's called a dresser valet. I just advertise it as a little jewelry tray, but I actually think it's intended for men's, what are they called, like cuff links and tie clips and random stuff like that for men's suits. So it's a dresser valet, but I purchased it for $10. I listed it for $28 and made a total profit of $15.98. I actually found this exact same jewelry tray at another thrift store recently, but I didn't pick it up. I kind of regret not picking it up because it would have been so easy to just relist it, but I wasn't feeling super inspired by the item, so I didn't pick it up. Next, I sold this beautiful silver-plated serving tray made in the 1960s. This tray I was so excited about because the photos turned out really beautiful. Sometimes I find it difficult to take really good pictures of an item, and oftentimes I feel like my items look better in person than they do on camera, which is something that I'm working on, but I feel like the pictures for this tray really did it justice. I listed this tray for $44 and I only purchased it for $1 and made a total profit of $39.94. Next, I sold this set of candle holders. They get mounted onto your wall. They have this really cool green wallpapery background on them. I purchased them together for $2 total. I listed them for $38 and made a total profit of $33.33. Next, I sold this vintage little silver shell dish. This was made by the International Silver Co. I find a lot of vintage items by the International Silver Co. I purchased this dish for $3.05, listed the item for $24, and made a total profit of $18.74. Next, I sold this wooden folding wine rack. I was so excited to sell this because I have two others just like it. They're the exact same size. One of them is basically the exact same one, and then the other one that I have is very similar, but it has all of these floral engravings on it. It's really beautiful, so it'll be very easy to list those, and I'm happy to know that they will likely sell. But anyway, I purchased this wine rack for $2. I listed it for $34 and made a total profit of $29.59. The next thing I sold was this vintage peg rack. I know peg racks are super popular. I found this really small one only for $1 at the thrift store. I listed it for $24 and made a total profit of $21.24. Finally, the last thing I sold for the month of August were these double-sided metal candle holders. These were super cool. They were extremely heavy. I think they were like 2 pounds each or something ridiculous. They flipped, so on one side they had a setup for holding candlesticks, and then if you flipped them on the other side they had a setup for tea light candles. Those were super cool, and I purchased those all together for $2.39. I listed them for $54 and made a total profit of $47.90. So that is everything I sold for the month of August. I'm gonna go ahead and add everything up now and see what my total profit was. Let's see how many items that is. So I sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Super interesting. So I sold 17 items in the month of August. That's actually the exact same number of items I sold in July. So 17 last month, 17 this month. Last month I made a total profit of $339, and I know that the stuff I sold this month was definitely listed at higher prices, so I'm gonna add it up now and see how much I made. Oh gosh. Oh man. My friend and I have been going to the gym really consistently and it hurts to sit down. Okay, let's add these up. Ow, no way. Okay, I just added everything up, and for the month of August I made a total profit of $584.54. That is crazy. I'm feeling so excited about that. I can't even believe it. This is my second full month selling vintage on Etsy, and before I started I was preparing myself to not even have a sale until like my third month doing it. So exciting. So that is $245 more than I made last month in July. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope it was helpful in some way. If you have a small business, please leave the details down below in the comments. I would love to check it out. And again, my shop is called Ivy Dog Vintage. I'll have it linked below, and I will see you next Thursday with a new video. Have a great week. 584. There's no way. That's so crazy. That's literally crazy. There's no way. What is that divided by 17? 34? Crazy. Holy smokes. I thought it would be like a year before I was even breaking even. Like, this is crazy.